Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Normal is broke and common sense is weird. So we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network and the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Kamel, joined by my pal Dr. John Delony, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. You jump in, we'll talk about your money and your life. Cassandra kicks us off in Toronto. What's going on, Cassandra?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you today?
We are doing great. What ails you today? How can we help?
Nothing ails me. I am a domestic abuse survivor, and it was majority was financial abuse. So
how long ago was this?
6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the scariest, best thing I ever did for me and my 3 children.
To get out of that.
To leave, get out of that mess.
Yeah, no, it was, thank you. You know, I started with nothing and I've built everything. And now it's kind of crazy to call in about this. I'm making about $8,000 a month.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Honestly, I work full-time. I go to school full-time, and I'm a single mom. So you just keep going, you know?
Well,
impressive.
You're at a place. So if you haven't already, take a moment and just go outside, and just be proud of yourself, because you couldn't have imagined this 6 years ago when you were scared to death and you were taking a leap into nothingness, right? And so,
yeah,
man, you're a lighthouse for other women trapped in similar situations. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. So my challenge right now is I want to give my kids the world. I've been, about 2 years ago, I realized that I wanted to change family patterns. You know, both of my parents are in their 60s and they don't have anything, and there's so much debt. And so in the last 2 years, I paid off about $40,000 worth of debt.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Thank you. And I'm trying now. The last thing is my car. I owe about 17. It's worth about 20. So I'm trying to maintain a budget and stay on budget, but I want to give my kids everything, right? Everything we didn't have, everything, everything I'm fighting for.
You have.
Yeah.
No. You have. You've given them everything, and everything is not a bunch of presents under the tree. Everything is a mom who is, everything is a mom who is doing the next right thing for the stability and safety of herself and for her family. You've given them everything. You just have to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'm enough. Right?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. There's so much emotion around money, and I just can't. And then it doesn't matter how hard I'm fighting. It just feels like it's never enough. The economy is so hard.
Stop fighting. You have a picture of they're going to be happier when you have a bunch of stuff under that tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that stuff under the tree for you as a little girl was a proxy for a house that wasn't so full of chaos and so full of angst around money, around whatever. And you thought, if I could have those things under the tree, if I could have that toy I don't have, that shirt that I can't afford, or my parents can't afford or won't buy me, that then I'll be okay. Those presents are a proxy for we have a house full of peace, which is something that every child is so desperate for, and you've given it to them. They have it. They have everything. They've got a regulated mom. They don't have their dad in their life, right? Because he walked away. But when it comes to the ability to breathe in their own home, you've given them that. I'm so proud of you. I'd hug you if you're here.
What do you actually want to give them? Because everything is a big, vague word. The economy is a big, vague word. You're using impossible terms. So what's the budget you want to use for Christmas to buy some gifts?
Like, last year it was ridiculous. I think it was like $500 a kid. And then this year I'm just I really want to make change and make waves, and that involves sacrifice. And so I've cut it down to like $250, but it just seems like
How old are the kids?
15, 10, and 9.
All right, so I want to tell you something. I grew up with not a lot, okay? In fact, one time several families broke into our house and put presents under our tree, okay? That's the house I grew up in. When I joined this team and my financial life transformed, I'm ahead of you a little bit, okay? I went crazy when it came to Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was my wife saying, like, hey, we got to stop, right? And so 2 years ago, I took my son out. He's 15 now, so he was 13 at the time. And I took him out and said, hey, I have gotten out of control of Christmas. Christmas is going to look different this year. You're going to get 2 or 3 really nice things and I want you to give me a list, right? And I'll do what I can on the little knick-knacky things, but it's going to look different. And you know what my 13-year-old said to me over breakfast at a Waffle House in rural Tennessee? You know what he said to me? He smiled and said, "That's awesome, Dad. I don't think you can." And he already knew, Dad's buying a bunch of stuff for him, not for us. He already knew. He's a teenager. He was an 8th grader, and he already could sense all these presents are for old man, not for us. Now, he's going to take my stuff. He's going to take all the cool stuff. That's cool. But you taking your 15-year-old out, I mean, you're all 3 of them out and saying, I've been scratching and clawing, and I have this fantasy in my head that y'all will only like me if there's tons of presents. I've got to be a better steward of this money this year, and so I want y'all to give me 1 or 2 things that y'all really, really want, and I'm going to try to make that happen. But Christmas is going to look different this year. And I'm almost going to guarantee you that they'll be like, Mom, we're good. We're good, Mom. And if they don't, if they're like, that's ridiculous. Well, they're 13. Good grief. They're supposed to say stuff like that. You get what I'm saying?
And they have no
do, yes,
concept
I do.
of what things cost. And so that's another piece of the puzzle, for better and for worse. They go, well, I want a PS5 and I want, a $10 pair of shoes. They're like, okay, well, those aren't 2 things that go together. And so I would set a budget, and that becomes how much we can spend on Christmas. And so it doesn't matter what they want. It's what you can actually afford that dictates what happens this Christmas. And the other thing I would encourage you to do is focus on something experiential versus something material. I saw a great video, and the mom asked her daughter, hey, what did you get for Christmas last year? The daughter blanked. She couldn't think of one thing. And she said, where did we go on vacation last year? She said, Lake Tahoe. Immediately. And so you've got to think in terms of what are they going to remember? It's probably not a thing that's going to end up in a closet or at Goodwill 6 months from now or 2 years from now. And so be thoughtful, be creative, but don't think it has to be a certain dollar amount for it to matter.
And you free yourself when you take your kids out and you have this conversation with them. You're free. Because right now there's a cloud, there's a secret that you think they will only feel good if you do X, Y, and Z. Take them out and just paint them a picture. This year I'm going to be different. And give them that opportunity. But in that conversation, you're going to free yourself. And like George said, most kids.
One more thing.
We're running up on a clock.
Yeah,
we're running up on a clock. So go have that hard conversation. Have it direct and free yourself.
Hey guys, it's George Kamel, and I've got a hot tip to save you some serious cash this holiday season. Shop Aldi first. Aldi has everything you need for holiday get-togethers. I'm talking charcuterie boards, holiday sides, desserts, without the large price tags. You'll get fresh, high-quality food while keeping your budget off the naughty list, because Aldi has the lowest prices of any national grocery store. It's true. Families are saving up to $4,000 a year just by making Aldi their go-to, which means more money for stocking stuffers. So find a store near you at aldi.us. That's ALDI.us. Savings based on regional analysis of Aldi versus select competitors. Prices may vary by location, product availability, and the market. Bree is in Phoenix up next. Bree, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. What's going on?
You I guess I'm looking to find out if I made a dumb house decision or if I'm house poor. I am newer to the Ramsey show and doing a budget, and I feel like I don't have enough money to do what I want, of course, but it seems like there's just not enough money at the end of the month.
That's a real problem. What do you make?
I make good money, I think. I make $120,000.
Yeah, that's good money where I come from.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your take-home pay every month?
Take-home's not as good, obviously. I put 401k money and stuff, but in my benefits. But I take home, my base salary is $5,400 a month that I bring home.
Okay.
And my commissions range so much. That's the hard thing. I'm having a hard time doing the budget. I'm newer to the budget, but they could be anywhere from $1,000. Like this month, I got $1,000. Last month, I got $3,900.
Nice.
For 6 or 5 months, I didn't get any at all.
Okay. Let's pretend that's gravy on top. What is your mortgage
payment?
payment?
I want to do $2,000 a month.
Okay, that's not out of control. I mean, it's a big portion of your base take home, but we're not going to factor in your 401k contributions into that. And so if you just look at your after-tax income, but before other deductions like healthcare, 401k, the parameter we use is 25%. And so I don't think it's just a mortgage alone doing this. I think there's some other factors here, including other debt. Do you have any other consumer debt?
Yes.
Lay it out for us.
I have, all right, I have $300 as an HOA a month, which is a lot, I think, but I have a car loan that's $500. I have about $40,000 in consumer debt, like credit cards and a loan that I consolidated.
Okay.
$40,000.
So let's picture this world for Bree. Let's say that you got rid of all of the consumer debt, the car loan, the credit cards, all of that, the consolidation loan. Do you think you could breathe easier, cover all your bills, and have some left over?
You even saying that makes me feel better.
Good. That's a world. That's very much available to you. It's at your fingertips here if you just utilize this great income you have and start focusing on one thing instead of 7 good things. Because investing for retirement is a great thing. Paying off debt is a great thing. Owning a home is a great thing. You've chosen to do it all at once, which is why you feel overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just picture you pausing your 401k contributions. What percentage of your income are you currently contributing?
I think I lowered it to 6. It was 10.
Okay, well that's $7,200 a year that could be going towards paying down that debt. You see what I just did there?
Yep. Yes.
We just created some margin for Bree. And remember, this is temporary. How old are you?
I'm almost 60.
Okay. So can we picture Bree on her 62nd birthday, completely debt-free, now maxing out retirement instead of having to ratchet it down?
Yeah, I could picture that.
That's definitely the future I'm seeing as well. And so what this looks like is taking down your 401k, cutting your spending to the bone for 18 months max is what I'm thinking. Probably less because you have a great income, especially with those bonuses. If you pretend those bonuses don't exist and anytime it comes in, you throw it right at the debt, the smallest debt in front of you, you're going to be debt-free really quickly. Agreed?
Wow. Well, it sounds good coming from you.
I'm a good salesman, I guess.
It sounds so good.
It's your life. I'm just pointing. I have all the puzzle pieces in front of me, and I'm going, hey, if you just move this over here, you could be debt-free pretty fast. And that's the debt snowball method. That's going, hey, we're not going to contribute to retirement. We're going to take our savings down to $1,000. We're going to throw everything we can at our smallest debt. Once it's knocked out, throw everything we can at the next smallest debt while making minimums on the rest of the debts. And if you do it that way, I'm telling you, you will be debt-free in 12 to 18 months, making what you make.
Oh, my God. Wow, I never even thought I'd get through on the call. I'm so excited to talk to you. And that you did. You just made me feel better because, now I feel stupid because I
No,
we've all done stupid.
Stupid people don't get paid $120,000, Bree.
I know. I'm so proud of that.
You should
hard
be.
To get up to that.
And I think you work too hard to feel this broke, to feel this overwhelmed.
I do too.
Okay.
I do too.
But listen, I want you to hear what George said. We don't care about the interest rates. We don't care about the shame you feel on one thing versus the other. We're going to take every debt you have. And in fact, I don't want you to do it on a computer. I want you to go old school and put on a yellow pad. Write down everybody you owe in the world, parents, friends, banks, car notes, the consolidation loan, all of them. Write it down in smallest to largest. And then we're just going to attack it. This is, in your case, this is 95% psychology.
Oh, my gosh. So I did get it that way with the credit card or whatever it is. It's all together. That's one bill, and then the car is another. So when I get these bonuses, bang which one out? The one that
whatever one is lowest.
Whatever the smallest balance is. It's the only number you're looking at.
It's the only one you care about.
Wow.
And here's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a whole bunch of little wins. And if you have one big giant chunk at the end, like you have the big $40,000 like cloud hanging over your head, here's what we're going to celebrate. Every time you get that first number from 40 and you get it to 39,999, that's a huge win. And then we're just going to try to get a 2 in front, 29,999. And we're going to whittle that sucker down. The only question you need to ask yourself is this. You're going to be 62, okay? Do you want to be 62
I'm sure.
and listen, yeah, that's fair. And owe nobody anything, or do you want to be 62 a little more fried than you are right now? That's the choice.
No, I want to be free, and I work hard for my money, and I want to celebrate myself. Never mind,
yes.
You know what I mean? I have
celebrate yourself,
kids,
not with another shiny thing you can't afford. Celebrate yourself with peace and freedom, which I think are the two most elusive things in American households today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I really do.
Okay, hang on. We're going to hook you up. We're going to hook you up.
And I feel.
We're going to take care of you. Here's what we're going to send you. Number one, we're going to send you the digital FPU product. I want you to watch all 9 videos at your house. And if you got kids still living with you, they have to watch it as a part of their rent. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to send them.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Oh, we're not done. I'm sending you more. You ready? I'm going to give you.
I love you.
George and I are going to give you a year of Every Dollar Premium. It's a budgeting app. And it's going to connect with your bank. So you already have it?
I have the regular one, but no, not that
We're
one.
about to upgrade
We're upgrading you, okay? And we're going to pay for it.
Thank you.
But you got to promise that you will cut your spending down to where people are going to think you're slowly losing your marbles, okay?
I love it, and I love a challenge.
Done.
I love it. I really do. And my youngest son he started it too, and he's doing so good. He's doing better than me, and I'm embarrassed. He's 21. He's 22, actually.
Wow.
I'm so proud of him for doing it.
Yes.
I'm so proud of him.
Let him see his mom do something like radically hard for the next 18 months, and then he will never. My mom went back and took her first community college class at the age of 42, and she graduated with her PhD at 57. You know what that did for me? It took away every excuse I could ever have in my life ever for I'm too old, I can't change, I'm set in my way. She took it all off the table, and that's what you'll do for your son. You will show him in real time there is never the words I can't. That cannot be a part of his vocabulary because I watched my mom do it.
And that's all I care about is making my kids proud. I know they are proud of me.
This is changing your family tree right here in real time.
Makes me feel shame, So.
Well, you got a built-in accountability partner now. So he's watching, you're watching what he's doing, he's watching what you're doing, and that's the best thing.
Will you make me one more promise?
Yes, I will.
That when you pay off these debts and you're debt-free, you'll call back in and we'll celebrate you. We'll do a debt-free scream.
Bet you bet. I will go right there so I can get in the booth.
I love it. All right, hang on the line. Christian's on the line here. He's going to hook you up with this stuff.
I'm marking my calendar, Bree. 18 months from now, I'm going to be like, hey, Bree, you debt-free yet? Where you at, Bree? We got any more payments? And I think the answer is going to be, I've been debt-free, dude. I've been done with this stuff. I got the emergency fund. I'm maxing out retirement. That's the future we want for Bree, and I think you're going to get there. Proud of you for calling in. Love to see that kind of transformation. And in 5 minutes, your whole attitude just changed. So imagine what the 5 months are going to look like as you actually implement this stuff. You're going to be like a live wire. Just so much energy on the path to debt freedom. Thanks for calling in.
Statistics show that half of Americans don't have enough life insurance, or they don't have any at all. I don't understand this, John. Why don't people want to take care of their family? They think they're going to die or something?
Well, I used to be one of those guys. I didn't even think about it. And one of my buddies said, hey, the only reason to not have life insurance is if you hate your wife and kids. And I immediately went and got term life insurance.
That's a gut punch.
And, you're telling me, and for decades, Dave, I've sat across people who've lost a spouse. They've lost somebody important to them.
Me too.
They don't know what to do next.
Me
right?
too. I mean, you're going to have a crisis here. And, you got two options while you're sitting and talking to a young widow. She's concerned about how she's going to invest all this money properly and not mess this up, or she's concerned how she's going to eat tomorrow.
That's exactly
These are the two options. And take care of your dadgum family, man.
Term life insurance can replace income, pay off debts, cover funeral expenses, so your family can actually have the opportunity to just be sad.
Yeah.
To just miss you.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's saying I love you to your family. Term life insurance. Jeff Zander and the team at Zander Insurance makes it easy and affordable. I've used them personally for 25 years. They're the only people I trust. Go to Zander.com or call 800-356-4282.
Nick is in Charlotte, North Carolina, up next. What's going on, Nick? How can we help today?
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Hey, so there's a lot of backstory, but married 13 years. I have 3 children, 7, 4, and 1. My wife and I, we've been through a lot with medical ordeals. It's led to I took on finances and ended up kind of drowning a bit. I did not disclose to her that we were in financial trouble and thought I could work my way out of it. I'm in sales. My net monthly income is roughly $7,500. We are currently in about $100,000 of debt, consumer debt, that consists of 2 personal loans, 2 auto loans, and a student loan. I've been hemorrhaging somewhere between $5,000 to $7,000 a month because I've not been able to have an honest conversation with my wife to disclose what's going on. So we haven't changed our spending patterns. On Friday of last week, God broke me and I surrendered it to him. I disclosed everything to her and finally was open and honest. She was incredibly gracious, but now as we are trying to restore, rebuild, and rejuvenate our relationship, which has been an incredible couple of days, we do find ourselves in a crisis. We met with a Christian financial advisor last night who recommended a home equity line of credit to swap the $100,000 in consumer debt to the home equity line of credit. We owe $330 on our house. It's worth about $530. So to keep that 80%, that would get us to roughly the $100,000 to pay off the consumer. And then we are flipping our spending upside down. We believe in the baby step approach. We're going to be pursuing that aggressively. But we wanted to know our options. Is the only option to do this HELOC, potentially sell our house when the market is better in the summer, spring, and have that paid off and be debt free and rent a home? Do we need to put the house for sale immediately and take that route? Or are there other strategies that you all would implement and recommend given the context of what I just outlined?
All right, so George is going to walk you through the money side of this, and he's going to give you a super clear path, okay? But I want you to hear me crystal clear also, okay?
Okay.
The chief emergency in your life is not the debt.
Yes.
The chief emergency in your life is what I would call financial infidelity. You cheated on your wife. Okay? And so the chief emergency in your life right now is restoring trust.
Yes.
It's not, I'm going to parse it. It's not trying to make everything all okay and take away any more pain, frustration, fear in her right away. It is restoring trust.
Absolutely.
And when men of character, like me, like you, find ourselves, we have become somebody we never meant to be. I've been down this road in my marriage too, okay? the temptation is to run around and spend a whole bunch of energy trying to make everybody feel okay right now. And that gets us right back into yet another problem or two problems. Usually we make it worse. And so the path you need to take now is, yes, you'll have to deal with this debt emergency. It's a big, big deal. But more importantly is you have to bring your wife in as a part of this brokenness and the submission that you mentioned. It is asking your wife, what does a path back to trust look like? And not you now running around and almost shutting her to the side or bringing her along, but more dragging her along and saying, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go to this. We're going to meet with this guy. I'm going to talk. It's saying, what do you need to begin to feel safe and trust me again? Okay? That is step number one. That's the big neon sign flashing emergency in your life right now is restoration of trust. And then it's probably going to be something along the lines of, I want to have a budget meeting with you. I want to know where all our accounts are. Here's where our retirement is. Here's the account numbers. Here's how to access it. Here's my cell phone. All those kind of things that reestablish trust at the step-by-step, I'll call it the micro level, that rebuilds a foundation that both of you can anchor into to go do what's going to be a couple of years of really hard work. Okay, does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does.
Okay, so you saying, I've hid this from you, and actually I tried to do a noble thing, which is protect you, keep you safe, not worry you, and in so doing, I created a big, big mess. And so Here it is, it's all on the table. You've done that. I would hug you if you were here. Most men don't have the courage to do that. What you did was brave and good and right. And now it is realizing that the healing process is going to be slower than you want it to be. And on the back end of this, your marriage will be so much stronger than you could have ever possibly imagined it. And you will be a man of character, not only in your words, but in the actions, and she will be able to anchor fully back into you, and vice versa. Get what I'm saying?
I do. We are already seeing that already, the just brokenness between the two of us, which has been
That's right.
Which has been beautiful. So I appreciate you
That's
saying
right.
that, and I agree with you completely.
And hey, part of this is, and this is unpopular to say, you addressing what might also be an elephant in the room, which is maybe she wasn't the safest person to sit down and talk about finances with. Maybe y'all were creating a dance where she didn't want to hear it, or she wants to buy what she wants to buy, and then so you're trying to solve it and you're trying to fix it and you're coming up with the scheme over here and doing it. Who knows what the dance in your marriage is? But this allows that to all get put on the table over time.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Unless you're just a terrible, terrible human, which I'm not hearing at all. These things don't happen in a vacuum. They're co-created by two people in a marriage, and that's all that has to be put on the table. And if you just run out tomorrow and sell your house, you might Band-Aid over the math problem y'all have in front of you, but the problems in your marriage about trust and safety, and do we both relax when we both see each other when we come home, that just gets wallpapered over, and it will show up somewhere else down the road. It more magnified, right? Okay, so
Right.
George is going to walk you through this stuff.
My burning commentary is on this Christian financial advisor.
Yeah, never talk to that person again, ever.
Listen, God loves all of his children. They're made perfect in his image, and some of their cornbread's not done in the middle. And so what he has suggested of you dumping dirty water into another vessel doesn't actually solve the problem. Would you agree?
I don't love it.
What do you love about it? Because you're just moving the debt around and putting your home at double risk.
Yeah, you now took the only safe place you and your wife have left, and you've leveraged that.
And you made it into one giant pile that's even harder to pay off with a variable interest rate.
Yeah, so being underwater $5,000 to $7,000 a month, and
explain what do you mean by you're hemorrhaging $7,000 a month? What does that mean?
Well, a lot of that has to do with spending habits. So if we,
which has nothing to do with the debt, and so that's what I'm trying to get at is: are you investing a dime right now?
401k out of my paycheck.
And he didn't advise you to stop investing to get rid of the mess.
He did. Yeah. He did stop. He did recommend stopping.
Okay.
That.
So if you paused all investing, you guys lived on nothing. What's your mortgage payment?
$2,082 a month.
Okay, that's not the problem here. You can keep the house. What you need to do is use this income, pause your 401k investments, make sure you're not getting a refund on your taxes. You need that money back in your paycheck. Can you live off of $3,400 a month? I'm just going to
That's
show you
what
the
we're-
math. If
That's
you were
what we're
able to
trying
do
find
that,
out. So if you've got math, then please show me.
here's the math. You make 90,000 net, right? If you stop investing, you're going to have even more, probably closer to 100,000 net. If you put 50 of that towards your debt, you're debt-free in 2 years.
Ta-da!
You see the napkin math there? Which leaves 40 or 50 to live off of. Now, I don't know if that's reasonable to have your mortgage, your four walls covered, insurance, and minimum debt payments on that side.
But be unreasonable for 24 months.
Yeah. I think this could all be solved by you guys living like you're broke because, newsflash, you're broke. So it's an easy problem to solve. When you make $100,000 net, you can knock this out in 2 years without taking on more debt just by doing that debt snowball method. If you say you believe in the baby steps approach, try it. Try it for a year. If you don't make progress and you want to go take out more debt, then you can be my guest. But I'm telling you, man, you can be debt-free in under 2 years if you follow this stuff, and your marriage is going to be better for it. We believe in you.
The holidays can come with a lot of pressure to spend. Family, friends, Secret Santa at the office, all the things. But y'all, this season should be about peace, not payments. That's a big reason why I love Fairwinds Credit Union. They share the Ramsey values of helping you reach your money goals without debt. And with the Fairwinds Smart Bundle, Ramsey fans get a no-fee checking account, a high-yield savings to grow your emergency fund, and the exclusive Ramsey Be Weird debit card. It says, debt is normal, be weird, right there on the front. So every time you use it, it's a reminder that you're doing your money differently. So this Christmas, skip the credit cards and celebrate progress, not payments. Spend with peace of mind, knowing that you're sticking to your budget and staying debt-free. And check out the Fairwinds Smart Bundle today at fairwinds.org/Ramsey. And open up the Smart Bundle and grab your exclusive Ramsey Be Weird debit card. That's fairwinds.org/Ramsey. Fairwinds is federally insured by the NCUA.
The all-new Every Dollar is here, and now it's way more than just our world-class budgeting app. There's a ton of advanced features to help you make faster progress with your money, and the average person finds thousands of dollars in margin in just the first 15 minutes of onboarding. So check it out. Start Every Dollar for free today. You can get it in the App Store or Google Play. Kristen is in Buffalo, New York up next. What's going on, Kristen?
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I just have a question that I think is pretty simple. My husband and I have paid off all of our debts except for we have his student loan. It's the last one. It's $63,000, and it's in income-driven repayment with a current monthly, payment of $0. And we're thinking we'd like to refinance it to kind of force ourselves to have to pay it. I know that's like a weird Jedi mind trick that we want to do, but we're wondering if we're crazy, if we should just pay through the student loan lender, which two of the loans, it's one loan, but there's four small ones. Two are $10,000, two are $20,000. A couple of them have 5.2% interest, and a couple have 6%. And with refinancing or a personal loan to pay them, the interest would be higher.
So what good would refinancing do at this point?
It would. I feel like it's just the loan just kind of hangs out there, and we have two goals. One is to be debt free, the other is to buy a home. Currently, we know that because we've been told, through our mortgage pre-approval that the student loan isn't affecting our pre-approval because it's a minimum payment of $0.
Okay.
But so we're kind of at this point where we know we need to buy a home eventually, but we also want to kind of force ourselves to not just let this loan be sitting in the background just because even though it's accumulating interest, the payment's $0. So we have a trusted Ramsey Pro who kind of said because of our ages, it doesn't, it would be okay to kind of be saving for a down payment and paying off this debt.
How much do you guys make?
Total about $120 to $128 a year.
Okay, so this debt could be gone in a year if you just hunkered down.
Mm-hmm. we have about $5,000 extra a month we could be putting on this debt.
So the math they just laid out is perfectly there. $5,000 a month for 12 months, 60 grand.
Yeah.
So the loan is done in 12 months, and that's without you guys. I mean, you could probably even scratch up a little more money, spend a little less, and make it happen faster, couldn't you?
For sure. Yep.
That's the
I'm
plan,
just
is to
afraid
move
I won't
through
trust
it.
myself.
Why don't you trust yourself?
Well, this loan is kind of not interfering with us.
But it is.
But it is.
You're calling a national
It is.
radio show to talk about this loan. I would say it's very much living in your head rent-free.
Oh, it's totally living in my head. But we're also worried, what if the right house comes up and then...
Listen, you guys jumped the gun trying to home shop with $63,000 of loan sitting on the other side. That loan isn't going away.
Yeah.
In fact, the interest is just adding to it, and that loan isn't going away. So it would light an extra fire under me to start making payments, not $0, not $100, but $5,000 a month payments on this to knock it out in the next 12 months.
We definitely have that fire. I'm just worried. What if something happens and I don't have that fire 6 months?
It's not a
from now?
soulmate. It's a house. There's going to be more of them a year from now.
No, I don't mean I don't mean the house. I mean the payment on the loan.
Okay.
Now we have the fire.
Let me say it this way. If you wait for motivation to do anything, if you wait for a quote unquote fire, whatever you're aiming for, you'll never get all the way there.
I agree with you, John. That's kind of what I'm asking. If we refinance this through our credit union, that loan is sitting in our bank, and we have to look at it every day. And I think
so. You're trying to make it more difficult to make you more scared of it, to make you pay it.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
That is an untrustworthy person.
You sound trustworthy.
I
trust Kristen.
To the show for 20 years, and I have been in and out of debt many times, and we're finally on
there it is.
the right track.
Yeah. You've been in and out to where you don't even trust yourself to pay off this debt because you go, well, Kristen's not the kind of person who just pays off debt and stays out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. It's going to be a trust exercise.
You need 12 months. You need this.
How much do you guys have saved right now?
Not a lot. We only have about $5,000 saved.
Okay, and how old are you two?
I'm 41. He's 53.
Okay. Picture like 10-year-old Kristen. If you said, hey, one day you're going to be making $120,000, and then your 10-year-old self's going to say, how much money do you have? And you're going to say, $5,000. Don't you think that's wild that you guys work this hard
and 60 grand,
making six figures, and you have nothing to show for it?
Well, we had a lot of debt up until recently. We finally just got here, is what I'm saying. And
I know.
So I'm afraid.
Why did you say
pay off that last debt?
You're like at mile 22 of the marathon, and suddenly you're like, I don't think I can make it. Just look behind you. Look how far you've come. You for sure can make it. It sounds like, you know what? It sounds like you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the math of it. You have 4 loans. I love that they're split up. Please do not refinance into one private, more expensive loan. Because right now, in 2 months, that loan is knocked out.
Ta-da.
You freed up a payment.
You only have 3 left.
2 more months, you knocked out the next smallest
Ta-da.
loan. That's another payment freed up. You can add to the next one. Do you see that's going to cause you to trust yourself again when you see that kind of progress and momentum?
I don't know. I guess so.
Yes. Listen, somewhere big and bold in your home, Christmas of 2026, y'all are going to go somewhere awesome because you're not going to owe anybody any money.
Mm-hmm.
And the home is just going to be on a temporary delay. It's not going to happen in 12 months. So you know what? Don't even look. Don't even doom scroll Zillow to see what could have been.
Because it's, you know what? Because right now Zillow is pornography for you.
Mm-hmm.
It is a way to escape that feeling inside that I'm exhausted, I'm not where I should be, and I got a hard conversation. I have a hard path ahead of me. I'm just going to off-ramp it here.
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest is pornography right now. Zillow is pornography right now. Talking to a real estate agent is an emotional affair right now. Just don't. Concentrate on the one single goal you have, which is we're going to get to 0. And we'll have done it.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? You've done so good.
I know that. I knew this question sounded crazy.
No, it doesn't sound crazy. It just sounds. It sounds like you're tired, and you're just like, hey, should I just take some performance-enhancing drugs for the last 4 miles? And the answer is no.
I think it's just that we've done so much better under pressure, and I work better under pressure, and we paid off our debt better under pressure.
All right, let me give you some pressure.
Without
24 months ago, would you have bet anything politically that has happened would have happened?
No.
No. Okay, so in 24 months from now, good God Almighty, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Whether there's going to be no such thing as deferment anymore. I'm just making stuff up. Whether they're going to demand all of the interest in a lump sum payment or put you in jail. I don't know. You don't know.
Right.
There is a ton of pressure on you right now.
Okay.
And if you want pressure, imagine there's a $5,000 minimum payment due on these loans. Or just switch out of IDR completely to a standard repayment plan. If you're begging for a normal payment, they'll give you one.
You don't mean that, do you?
Yeah.
Well, you're calling us asking, should you refinance?
You said,
do
I don't
that?
feel the pressure because it's $0. Okay, well, you can switch to a standard repayment plan where it's $400, $500.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, you can just imagine there's a $5,000 minimum payment or else someone's going to come knocking on your door if you need that manufactured pressure in order to do this plan.
I don't think you need it. I don't. I just think you're tired. I think you want a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think you're so close to the finish line here on this part of your trip.
And I think you're frustrated and you have some shame and guilt because of the past decisions that have led you to have this delayed dream of home ownership. And that's a very normal thing. That's not crazy. That's normal in America today. For better and worse, it's normal. And so I would put the shame and guilt down and go, we make amazing money. We're going to put it to good use. We're going to be out of this thing a year from now, and we're going to have the rest of our lives debt-free. We're going to be homeowners one day.
The Christmas present y'all buy each other this year is to get rid of that first student loan.
Love that.
That's a great present for both of you.
Make a little card if you want to add some panache to it.
I love entrepreneurs. Don't forget, guys, I started my company on a card table myself, so I know what it's like to have people counting on you, your team, your family, not to mention your customers. And when you're the one signing the paychecks, you can't afford to fly blind. But I'll be honest, early on, one thing that nearly sunk us was wasting time with spreadsheets that didn't add up because business units didn't talk to each other. I finally told my team, just fix it. And they did. We got NetSuite. That was years ago, and we've never looked back. See, NetSuite isn't just for tech giants. It's built for growing businesses like yours. Over 43,000 businesses already run on NetSuite, including a lot that started just like you. And now, with built-in AI, NetSuite is helping them even more. It's one system connected to every part of your business for real-time insights, not guesswork. NetSuite AI flags inventory issues, cash flow risks, even supplier delays before they become problems. So you can trust the data, stop wasting time, and make the right decisions faster. Take a free product tour today at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by best-selling author Dr. John Delony. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Sarah is in Columbia, South Carolina up next. What's going on, Sarah?
Hi. My question is that I am in the process of trying to leave an abusive marriage, but I have a lot of debt. And I'm trying to figure out what I need to prioritize as far as my money in order to make a safe exit.
Do y'all have a bunch of debt or do you have debt?
Both.
Okay.
We do.
I think right now your chief, the most important thing for you is to get to a safe place.
Yeah. I feel physically safe.
Okay.
But
do you work?
There's just a lot. I do.
Okay, then I would create your own checking account to have your check deposited into it for the time being, and we're going to go into store mode because you're going to need cash.
Right.
And you're going to take care of your 4 walls.
So that means making minimum debt payments on anything that's yours. Is everything co-signed for? Are you both on each debt?
So we are, let's see, the car is mine. I have a student loan. And the rest of it is like credit cards and personal loans, and that's kind of both.
Well, and even if y'all, or if he, quote unquote, bought a car and both of y'all's income went into a pot and y'all paid that car off, he may have some that he owes you to help pay off your car. All of that said, that's for the lawyers to figure out. Because the debts are going to get parsed out. The assets y'all have are going to get parsed out. That's the fight. Does your spouse know you're about to file?
So we've had a big discussion, and it isn't really going over well. But he's aware, and I do have a lawyer, and thank goodness I have a family member that has paid my retainer for that. But yeah, he's aware.
Yeah, let the attorneys work for you.
Okay.
If y'all were able to have a big conversation, which almost never happens when there's an abusive spouse, where everybody goes, "You're right. Here's my piece. Here's your piece. Let's shake hands and go down to the courthouse for $300 and file the paperwork on our own and be adults." But you wouldn't be in the situation if you weren't in an abusive, unsafe situation. So wanting that to happen, it's not going to happen. Dave gave me a quote one time that I loved. The moment somebody files divorce, it's now a business transaction. And that's how we're going to treat it. And we're going to let the people who are trained to do business transactions, which is the attorneys, do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've tried that. I've tried to be as, strong as possible and, not engage.
Yeah.
And he's very emotional about it.
That's right. Let your husband say all the wild stuff, keep every text message, keep all the emails. I'm going to take you for everything. All that stuff, fine. Your goal now is to take care of you. Do you have groceries?
Yeah.
Do you have a place to stay? Are you able to make your minimum payments? And we're going to go from there.
Okay.
What do you make?
So I just started a new job. I make around $120, which is a great income.
Amazing. And the debts that are tied to your name, either joint or solo, what does that add up to?
About almost 70.
Okay. What's the car worth that's in your name?
I'm not sure what it's worth. It has 15 left on the loan.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you get to a tight spot and you could sell that and downgrade or borrow a car from a family member for now, that might be a good move to get you to some better financial footing. But I love the idea of you going today, creating your own checking and savings account, not connected to the bank that you're currently with your husband, and starting basically your new financial life right now to protect yourself and allowing that direct deposit to go there. And like John said, just stack up cash, make minimum payments on the debt. Don't get behind on it. Don't let it go to collections. But then once the divorce settles, you'll know as the dust clears which debts you're going to be owing on, what you could do, and you'll have a pile of cash to help you get that kick started.
Okay.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse practitioner.
I was just thinking nurse. So his attorney, if he or she is worth their salt, is going to make a claim that he put you through nursing school, and so that he should get a part of that. So all that stuff, like it's not going to come out clean. It's going to be a mess.
Right.
Divorce is a mess, but we're trying to get from here to there, and from here to there is don't make any wild purchases. Don't over stress with when he starts. Try your best to retain your emotional sanity as he throws whatever grenade he's going to throw.
So sorry you're going through this.
Yeah, I hate it for you.
All right, let's go out to Rachel up next in Atlanta. What's going on, Rachel?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's your question?
So my parents are aging, and they have Alzheimer's and dementia, and so we are beginning to look at, like, long-term care facilities, assisted living, that kind of thing. And we know that we're going to need to liquidate their assets in order to pay for this, right? And, we have their house. They have some annuities. My mom has some stock in AT&T. And so what I really need advice on is what kind of professional would I need to seek out to help me combine all these tiny little accounts into one big account that would be liquid enough to pay for a facility.
So you're trying to piece these puzzle pieces together to go, okay, we have all these random things out here. How do we basically sell off any assets and create a cash account in like a high yield savings or money market that we can use to fund the rest of their care?
Right. Yes.
Well, the issue that I would see is you're going to need financial power of attorney to make any financial decisions on their behalf.
Right.
And so that would depend on...
I pretty much have that. We set up a living trust.
Okay.
And I am one of the trustees, but the way they worded the power of attorney, basically each of my parents would have to, quote, resign as a trustee in order for me to be able to completely take over. I am working on getting them to do that, but it is a slow process because there is a lot of pride and a lot of denial.
Well, do they have clinical diagnostics around their dementia?
Yes.
Okay. Then that in and of itself may preclude them from being able to sign off.
That's my fear. If they don't have the capacity mentally where they go, yeah, they can sign off on this, they know exactly what they're doing, the courts won't sign off on it.
But if you have medical power of attorney, then that's when you step in to make decisions for somebody who is unable to make decisions for themselves.
Okay.
And it's a nightmare because you're going to find yourself trying to do the best you can to love and honor your parents well. And in their diminishing cognitive capacity, you're going to become the biggest target, the biggest enemy to them.
Yeah.
And
I hope you're wrong in that. But
I know. I've just sat with too many people whose parents have dementia, and they feel like they're getting hit on one side by insurance companies and care facilities, and on the other side getting hit by the person they love the most, who is a scared, terrified parent watching their ability to function slip through their own fingers. And it just is it's the worst. It's a nightmare. So it's just getting yourself, if you're married, you've got brothers and sisters, you all steeling yourself for the coming storm. But yeah, if they already have been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, then I don't think they can even sign off on anything moving forward.
Finally, mortgage rates have dropped, and you know what that means? People who've been sitting on the sidelines are about to jump back in to the housing market. So if you've been waiting to buy, this could be your window, but you've got to be prepared and do it the Ramsey way. You need to contact Churchill Mortgage. Their Home Buyer Edge program gives you peace of mind in a wild market. You can cap your rate for 90 days, so if rates go up, you're protected. If rates go down, Churchill will drop yours automatically. And get this, Churchill will even back your offer with a $10,000 seller guarantee. So if your loan falls through due to financing, the seller still gets paid. That's how confident Churchill is. Plus, when you shop as a Churchill certified home buyer, it's stronger than pre-approval. It makes you look like a cash buyer, which makes your offer rise to the top. So don't let this moment pass you by. Get ready now. Go to churchillmortgage.com to get started today. That's churchillmortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. Homebuyer Edge and Seller Guarantee are available for qualifying borrowers and select loan types only, and not available in all states or locations. NMLS ID 1591. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Equal housing lender.
All right, John, we're going to play a little game. Where are they now? We often take calls, and then that's it. We'll never talk to them again.
Okay, I thought you were talking about, like, one of your ex-girlfriends from middle school or something. All
She
right, cool.
lives here now. No, that would be hilarious and awful at the same time. No, this is a call from Skylar that you and I took back in February of 2025, this year. And she had made some mistakes in college, moved in with her parents as a single mom. Her parents then wanted her to put a mother-in-law suite on the back of their property. She was in baby step 2, trying to pay off debt.
I do remember this call now.
Yep. So she wanted to communicate to her parents that she didn't want to go into more debt. She got an apartment, was scared to tell them. They were using her to get ahead financially. We told her, hey, you got to move out. And she couldn't afford the apartment on her own without her parents helping. So it was a very just toxic codependent situation. She was working long hours delivering mail. She was scared. And we told her, hey, lean into the hard conversations, into the conflict. This is not forever. This is a season. We gave her some resources, and then something magical happened. She reached back out and said, hey, I want to update you guys on where I'm at now.
Oh,
So
I hope she doesn't call and be like, you ruined my life.
that's always my fear. I'm hoping we've got good news from Skylar. How you been, Skylar?
I've been great. How are you guys doing?
Good. That's a relief to hear. Okay, so what is the update? Did you end up moving out?
I did. So I had the conversation with my parents, and I pretty much told them, I was like, I can't afford to put a mother-in-law suite on the back of the property. They pretty much were like, they were just trying to think of a way to help me have my own living space and pretty much be independent while also being close enough to help me with my son, is what the conversation boiled down to. But I found a cheaper apartment, was able to move out.
Good.
And I'm actually teaching now.
Wow.
Yeah, full-time gig, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Making more money?
About the same.
Okay. And how's single mom life going? What's going on with the kiddo?
It's better. I'm able to get him in the elementary school near the high school I work at. And so I could drop him off in the morning. I get to pick him up after school. I get to spend weekends with him, which before, when I was working with the post office, I got lucky to see him maybe an hour or two before he went to bed.
Wow.
And I didn't see him in the morning.
You got your whole life back.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
great.
so-
And I got a boyfriend, so it works out.
A boyfriend entered the picture.
Gross. All right, good for you. Good for you. All right, so I'm of the belief that most of the time, not always, but most of the time, when aging parents come up with a plan or a scheme, that actually deep down they're trying to help, and they open up their toolkit, and there's just one or two tools in there. And so take me back to that conversation you had with your parents. Did it ruin your relationship with them? Or when they explained themselves, did you realize, oh, y'all are trying, they're actually trying to help in the way they know how, and maybe their generation was just borrow money or just whatever. But tell me about that conversation, and then tell me about your relationship with your parents now.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the conversation went. It was they were trying to help me be independent and be on my own, but still provide the support I needed with working at the post office.
Oh, okay.
And it ended up being a productive conversation.
Y'all still talk?
There
Y'all
was
still
no-
close?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My son goes over there on the weekends still because he wants to visit his Grammy and Papa.
Oh, cool.
Love that.
The atmosphere has completely changed, where before when I was living there with them, things were tense all the time. And now that we all have our own space, it's way more
actually
relaxed and there is no tense. Oh, yeah. It's gotten a lot better.
We threw a bunch of resources at you at the last call. Financial Peace University, Every Dollar. What's the financial progress been like?
It's still steady.
Okay.
it
Knocking out some
hasn't
debts
changed.
in baby step 2? Still working through that?
Yes. So when I went through Financial Peace University and I did all the things, I sat down and looked at everything, really. I was able to pay off 3 credit cards at one time
Wow.
because I didn't realize they were so low.
That's great.
And
You're just looking at those
just by
minimum
looking
payments.
at it, just
Yeah.
by not ignoring it and not being in denial, going, all right, I'm going to put this on paper, put it in the Every Dollar app, and go, what can I do about this? And you just went, I could knock these 3 out.
Oh, yeah. Knocked those 3 out. Right now I'm working on, obviously, I still have 3 more credit cards, so I'm working on those, getting those down.
Yeah, how much is left total?
On my credit cards?
Yeah, total debt that you have left to pay off in baby step 2.
Oh, like completely?
Yeah.
115.
Whew, so you got a journey ahead of you, huh?
Yeah, it's student loans. Because I went back to school to get a master's degree, and at the time, take out a loan was always
Did
a
you
good
finish the
option.
master's?
Oh yeah, I have my master's in marine biology.
Okay, and you're using that now to teach, or are you not teaching on that subject?
Not teaching yet. I'm hoping to hear back from a job though.
Very
awesome. Well, we are rooting for you, Skylar. Appreciate the update. I love to see just how much life has changed for you in 9 months, just by having some hard conversations and doing some hard things.
Skylar, we're heading into the holiday season, and 1 out of 3 calls of letters that come into my show, the John Delony show, 1 out of 3 of those is either like newly adult kids who have cut off their aging parents, or aging parents who have cut off their kids. And almost always there's one big, heavy, looming conversation hanging between that relationship. What would you tell the 25-year-old, the 27-year-old, the 22-year-old that feels like they can no longer be around their aging parents about that conversation? What advice would you give them?
Well, from my experience, it's you just have to say it, because 9 times out of 10, it's not as bad as you think it is. I'm a huge overthinker. And so I had the whole conversation in my head before I even approached my parents about it, and that's what scared me into not telling them.
You replayed that imaginary conversation 1,000 times, huh?
Oh, yeah. Like every second I wanted to bring it up, that conversation would play over again.
Okay.
And, people do change too. If you know for sure your parents or whoever you have to have that conversation with is making efforts to be a better person, they're more likely going to not react the way that you expect.
Gotcha. Well, I'm proud of you for doing that, and this is what changing your family tree looks like. And
oh yeah,
you're raising a kid that's going to know I can always go to my mom with hard conversations, and you're living proof. That's amazing. We're proud of you.
Well, thank you.
It's cool.
And I appreciate you guys. I used everything you guys gave me, and then I shared the books you guys sent me with a friend of mine who needed them too.
I love it. The ripple effect continues, John.
Yeah,
Man.
pass it along.
There's so many pieces there. We behind the scenes, we talk about the Ramsey Show as being more than about money. It's expanded because we realized half the calls are about relational dysfunction, not about the money thing, which is what they called in about as we dig one layer deeper. Or it's about a work thing and a career thing and getting the income up. And this one really hits all 3 of those buckets.
Correct.
She had a career problem, she had the money problem, and she had the relational problem with the parents. And it's amazing how you can work on all 3 at once, and there's a domino effect.
Well, and the underlying foundation of all those problems is this one uncomfortable truth. You cannot go around scary things. You can't go around debt. You can't go around that big, hard, scary conversation you need to have with your loved ones 1, 2, or 3 times. You can't go around a job that's not working for you and your new kid. You can't go around it. You got to go right through it. And it doesn't always have a happy ending like Skylar has, right? But there's more happy endings out there if you will just head right through the discomfort.
Well, most people have pre-decided, well, here's what's going to happen, so what's the point?
Or it's the imaginary conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell George. You're never going to tell George that, right? Like, and then they're going to say that it's that kind of rumination is never happy. Brene Brown calls it dress rehearsing tragedy. You're just you're performing it without actually doing it. Just go. We're heading into the holiday season. If you got to have that hard conversation, have it.
Now's the time.
If you realize I can't even afford the Christmas presents I'm about to start buying, then have that reality. Go right through the middle of the discomfort.
Talk about it at Thanksgiving,
yes,
not at Christmas in a blow-up argument.
That's exactly right.
You set the boundary, you set the expectation, and that's really going to create the best life for you. Instead of being resentful, I'd rather you feel a little guilty. That's the best case scenario. Hey guys, George here. You know I hate debt, and that includes sleep debt. I've been there. Fatigue, low energy, brain fog, and that's why I switched to Casper. My Casper mattress helps me sleep easier, cooler, and deeper, and now every bedroom in my house has one. On top of that, Casper ships free, comes with a 100-night trial, and if you don't love it, they'll come pick it up. So let's ditch the sleep debt and build sleep wealth. Go to Casper.com/Ramsey and use promo code Ramsey for 30% off all mattresses and up to 35% off everything else. That's Casper.com/Ramsey, promo code Ramsey. Exclusions apply. Well, John, the old dog's got some new tricks. We've done something different on the Ramsey Show and started introducing video calls. So now we don't just get to hear from the audience, we get to see their beautiful faces. So if you want to be a part of that, you've got a question you'd like to submit and you want to be on video, we'd love that. Go to RamseySolutions.com/ask. Let us know your question, and in the subject line, just put video call so our team knows that you are willing and able to be on video. And the experience has been really cool so far. So we'd love more of those video calls. Go to RamseySolutions.com/ask, subject video call. Looking forward to talking and seeing you guys. All right, let's go to Grace in Jacksonville, Florida up next. Grace, how can we help today?
Hi. I'm sorry. I'm really nervous to meet you guys. I am 19, and I want to know how to best prepare and invest in my future, even though I make a low income, while having debt and helping my mother pay bills.
Wow, that's a lot to take on as a 19-year-old. What kind of debt are you in?
It's just credit card debt.
Okay.
How much?
$3,375.
Okay.
And what do you make?
I work 2 part-time jobs and a couple other things on the side, but I still only make about a little less than $28,000.
$28,000. Okay. And are you in school? What's going on the other side?
I am in college. I'm almost done with my associate's in arts degree, and then I want to go into communications.
Great. Is that part of your undergrad?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a 4-year situation?
2-year, and then I'm going into a 2-year university for the bachelor's.
Great. Okay. And are you cash flowing that, or are you going into student loan debt?
I don't have any student loans. It's all financial aid paid for, and I have Chapter 35 from my dad being in the military.
Okay, great. That's one of my goals for you. You're talking about how to invest in myself. It's to avoid student loan debt. It's a plague among young adults, and it's going to propel you forward if you can do this debt-free.
Okay.
Now, tell me about Mom. What's going on with you helping Mom with expenses?
So my parents are divorced. And I live with my mom. So she's basically a single mother and has been for a couple years. I use some of the money to help her pay bills up to like $250 to $500 every 2 weeks. And that goes to the mortgage on our house as well. So like with that, the mortgage bills and all of that, I do end up like spending a lot of money.
So $500 to $1,000 a month is what you're doling out from your take-home pay.
Basically, yes.
And is she sitting you down and saying, "I need this money to survive," or is this you just trying to pitch in, or do you pay rent? Like, what's the arrangement here?
It's not just it's the first one. Like just to be able to just at least get us by.
I know,
but she asked for that. She asked for the help.
Is she asking for it?
Yes.
Okay. Is she working full time?
Yes. She is a director at a daycare center.
Okay. And what does she make? Do you know?
About $50,000 a year.
Okay. And
it's a brand new job, though.
Okay. I'm wondering. The future for Grace means you're probably moving out eventually. And so I want to make sure that Mom has a sustainable plan versus, well, if I don't have Grace's money, I'm going to be broke.
Well, and here's the problem for you, Grace, is you can't make that choice for her. You can't make that decision for her. And ultimately, you can't be held responsible for the choices she makes. And so on the back end of divorce, one of the hardest conversations I have with people who just got divorced is you cannot afford the home y'all have been living in. And people want to keep everything the same except for the divorce, and the divorce is so painful and it's so messy and yada yada, but we want everything else to stay the same. And it's one of the hardest conversations. And you as a 19-year-old, you can't continue to prop up a bigger, harder decision that your mom needs to make on her own as an adult. If you want to choose to live there and say, hey, I want to shift this from, hey, $200 this month, I need $400 for next month. I'm telling you right now, Grace, this is a recipe for resentment. and your mom doesn't deserve that and you don't either. It's getting really clear with, I want to come up with a rent number that I pay you every month.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And that's you stepping into your 19-year-oldness, your young adulthood, and saying, I want to begin to clarify my roles and responsibilities in my life. Because you can't make a plan if there's the emotional weight and the reality to, hey, I need $1,000. Hey, I need $500. Hey, I need $200 over here. Because here's what you're going to start doing, rightfully so. Hey, why did you buy that? We didn't need that. You're going out to eat again. Like, you're going to start these little bitty cracks in your relationship with your mom. And so I want you to own what you can on your side of that relationship, which is clarity, 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 clarity. And like George said, I want you to start considering being in your own apartment by 20. You don't have to, but what would the math look like? What would you need to do? What would the world look like if that was your plan?
So me and my mom actually used to live in an apartment, and we just moved into a house. Because we couldn't afford the rent anymore.
So she purchased that home?
It is with a mortgage, so...
Yeah, she bought it. There's a mortgage
she can't
on it.
afford that home either, it doesn't sound
Yeah,
like.
what's the mortgage on it? Do you know?
The monthly or the full, like...
The monthly mortgage.
About $1,700.
Okay. Well, can she afford that on her own if you were to move out today? Because my guess is she's probably bringing home $3,000 something a month.
I don't think she would.
So that's my fear, is that this mortgage is over half of her take-home pay, and the only reason she could afford it was because you're there helping to prop it up artificially right now. So that's going to be part of that hard decision that John said. That's not your responsibility. That's the sad truth. And so if she has to end up selling this home because you decide to move out, I don't want you to feel guilty for that.
Okay.
Because then you're going to begin to say, well, I can't afford to finish this degree, or I can't take this job in this town that they want to hire me for because I've got to stay. And it's a counterintuitive way that's going to really cap you. And your mom trying to take care of you, you're like, we're ride or die together. That's a ton of weight for a teenager to carry. Or let me put it this way. I always tell parents, you can't call your kid your friend until they reach 25, because a teenager can't carry the weight of an adult friendship and of the full adult responsibilities. It's a lot. And I'm not saying you let your mom be destitute or whatever, but she's got to make grown-up decisions. And if she has to get this daycare job and then go from there to working holiday hours at Target or whatever to pay her bills, man, that's hard, and it's tough, and she's an adult and she needs to make those math decisions. If she wants to rent out a room to her daughter, awesome. Let's just get that real clear.
Okay.
And lastly, Grace, what was the $3,300 in credit card debt for?
So it's actually from my mom, because this was a pre-planned prepaid thing, like from a while ago, that my old school was doing this Europe tour, and so we went because it was like really cheap to do. It was with a whole school education.
So you
thing.
put it on the credit card?
Yeah, my mom.
Okay. Then let me tell you this: $3,300 at 29% APR is not cheap. And so if I were you, I would pay off that credit card, cut it up, freeze your credit so that you can't make another bad financial decision, especially at 19.
And I think I just heard you say something right there at the end of that call. Never, ever, ever, ever let your mom talk you into borrowing money on your credit, on your Social Security number, on your credit cards. That is a nightmare recipe.
You're setting a precedent.
Blow up your relationship with her forever.
Grace, it's normal to be broke at 19, but it's not normal to have this kind of intertwined financial life with your mother. And so that's the thing I would caution you against.
If you've got collectors breathing down your neck and you're drowning in credit card debt, you don't need another debt relief company trying to sell you sunshine and unicorns. You need real help. And Guardian Litigation Group is the real deal. They're not a call center. They're actual attorneys. That means when a creditor tries to sue you, they can step into the courtroom and fight back. Now listen, debt settlement isn't pretty. It's not a magic wand, and I'd prefer you get out of debt the old-fashioned way. But if you're staring down bankruptcy and you've got no other way out, Guardian gives you a path to clean up the mess without paying a dime up front. Guardian's attorneys have helped over 55,000 people across the nation settle over $600 million of debt. So if you're ready to take back control of your life and stop cringing every time the phone rings, go to guardianlit.com/Ramsey. That's guardianlit.com/Ramsey.
Paid endorsement, attorney advertising, Guardian Litigation Group, LLP. Not available in Minnesota and Oregon. Results vary and no specific outcome is guaranteed. Debt settlement may negatively affect credit and not all creditors will negotiate or settle. Savings vary and may be taxable. Please review our website terms for more information.
Hey, you don't have to wait for Black Friday to get Black Friday deals. The sale is on now in our store. That includes $12 best-selling hardcovers, $12 Questions for Humans decks from my friend Dr. John Delony, audiobooks and ebooks for just $6.99, and $15 assessments. So much more where that came from. Go to RamseySolutions.com/store, or if you're watching on YouTube or podcast, click the link in the description. Chris is in Cleveland up next. What's going on, Chris?
Hi, thanks for taking from the bottom of my heart my call.
Oh, we're honored.
I'm calling. Oh, you guys are great. Long-time listener. Wish I would have followed through. Everybody out there, listen to them. It would have been great.
Thank you.
What I'm calling about is there's a long history, but I'm 70 years old. My first husband passed away. My second husband passed away. But with the second husband, I adopted my grandchild because of situations. Eventually, because of different things, I bought a condo on my own. The condo now is worth about $425,000. I have Social Security and other things coming in. Jacob now, the child, is 19 years old, and he is in an HVAC program, which I'm really proud of him for doing that, and he's a good kid. But I'm wondering, he kind of wants to venture out, and I'm to the point where I kind of want to sell the condo, and I'm wondering if I should sell it and buy him something, or if I should just stay here and help rent it out to him and this new girlfriend. But I'm not quite sure what to do.
I can tell by your voice, you know the answer to all that is no. Why do you feel the pressure to do something that you don't want to do?
I want to make sure that his mom is a wayward child, and I have my other daughter who is great. But I want to make sure he's taken care of. I want to make sure he has something. I'm 70.
Are you paying for this HVAC program?
No, the HVAC program. He has gotten, some foundations and everything for it, and I do have money from his grandfather. No, I'm not paying for it.
Okay.
It's not. No.
Distill down for me what your actual question is. Are you asking, should you sell your home so that you can buy him a house?
Well, the point is, I want to make sure he's taken care of. This condo is getting to be a lot for me.
What does taken care of mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
There's a difference of he's not going to be on the streets to he has a paid-for home at 19
You
years old.
adopted him and saved him. He is where he is because of you.
I know. I understand.
Okay, so you have given him everything.
I know.
And now he's on a good path. He's going to be one of these new blue-collar millionaires that everybody's talking about.
But you know what? I'm to the point where I don't want this condo anymore.
Okay, that's a separate issue.
Disconnect that from your grandson.
Where do you want to move? Where are you going to live? Because you're going to live to be 95. You got 20 more years.
I hope so.
Okay, you got 20 more years. He's going to be 40. Where are you going to go?
know.
Are you going to go rent somewhere?
And that's what I don't know what to do. I don't know because he doesn't want to stay. He's talking about moving out, and if he's talking about moving out, and him and this girlfriend for $800 a month can afford something.
Okay.
And
what's wrong with that?
There's no way. What's wrong with that is
you're saying he can only afford $800 a month
as a Christian.
Okay, there we go. That's it. This is a violation of your values.
Right.
You selling your house and moving where you want to move is issue one. If you don't like this condo anymore, great, but you got to have a place to live. And if you've already paid this thing off and you're not going to something, I would suggest you hang on to this condo because nobody can take it from you. If Social Security goes belly up in the next 10 years, if Social Security doesn't keep up with inflation, which it hasn't been, if, nobody can take your home from you. Okay?
I know, but part of it is Social Security. I mean, I've got $42,000 coming in per month.
$42,000 per month?
Yes. No, per year.
Per year, that's
right. Okay, I was like, I don't know what kind of Social Security fund you tapped into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want that program.
My fault.
So you got $4,200 of income
apologize.
per month. You have no debt at all, right?
No.
You live fairly
both
frugally.
Cars, there's 2 cars. You know, I try. Absolutely. And I just, part of me really wants to move out of the condo.
To where, though? Where?
I'm thinking about senior place.
Great. That's amazing. Can you afford that?
Absolutely. I mean, my mom had a place, and she just passed away within the year. $1,800 a month.
Okay, then get with a SmartVestor Pro. Sell your home. Put the $425 you're going to get from it in an account that will earn money to make sure for the next 20 years you can afford this place.
But what do I do about Jacob?
You can't.
Here's the most beautiful part. He's turning into a grown man, and he's in the HVAC world. He's going to make great money, and he gets to figure that out for himself. And my fear is you stepping in is actually going to harm him more than it's going to help him.
When my grandmother, when I came home from college, and she sat me down and said, I had 5, I think, at the time, earrings, and my hair was all long, and she said, I don't like your earrings.
That's not Jacob, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, my grandmother, who I love, told me she didn't like a thing I was doing.
Okay.
And I heard her, and that actually made some changes in my life. But that was the extent of the power she held over me.
Okay.
And you're trying to take ownership or even asking yourself, did I do something wrong because he's at 18 or 19 wanting to move in with his girlfriend into a cheap apartment? I'm going to free you from that. No, you saved his life.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You've done
Thank you for your time.
You've done something amazing.
You've instilled character into this and gave him a safe place and showed him what love looked like. That is worth far more than you handing him a condo at 19, which no 19-year-old needs handed to them.
And handing
it's
somebody
healthy to rent somewhere and figure it out.
A $500,000 condo is not going to keep him from living with his girlfriend. Maybe you sitting him down and saying, hey, this is a big deal to me. I want to be heard on this. I'm your grandmother and / your mom. Don't do this. Then he gets to decide what he's going to go do next. But yeah, buying him a house, whatever. Sell your condo. That's great. Make sure you sit down with a SmartVestor Pro on what to do with the cash so that 20 years of living in a residential facility, you're going to be okay. You're always going to have money to take care of yourself. That's the greatest gift you can give for him, is him not having to come pay your rent the last 10 years of your life. So making sure you're good to go. That's a gift. But man, yeah, be heard on this values thing. It's tough.
Chris is such a sweet, sweet person. If she's taking grandson applications, I'm willing to apply. My grandma, God rest her soul, here's what she gave us, and we were grateful for it. $100 at Christmas, $100 on the birthday.
That's a huge...
No condos. I turned out okay.
Barely. But I love that my grandmother had... I mean, she didn't have the courage. She was just amazing. But she said, I don't like that hair. I don't like those earrings. I like this woman. You need to marry her, which when I was dating my wife... Like, that was awesome. That was awesome.
That wisdom
it was
is
great.
worth far more.
But I still, at 19, 20, 25, whatever, I had to go make the next decision I thought was the right one.
Yeah. Just thinking me at 19, you hand any 19-year-old any large asset or any large amount of money, they're going to squander it and screw it up.
He'll sell it within the month.
Our brains are not developed enough to handle something like that. Yeah. And best case scenario, it destroys your work ethic. Because you're like, well, I was working so hard so one day I could own a home, and now it's just handed to me. So. That's right. Who needs work anymore? Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by Dr. John Delony. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Paige awaits in Michigan up next. What's going on, Paige?
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. So my question today is, how do I tell my mom that I don't want her to be my financial advisor?
Ooh, is she literally a financial advisor? That is her profession?
So for background, she is becoming a financial advisor right now. My current financial advisor, she was working for, and he's retiring this year, so she is taking over for him.
Very simple conversation. I got you. You ready?
Yes.
I need you to just be my mom.
Yeah. So the issue with that is actually, as I was meeting with a financial advisor that actually works right next to her office yesterday. She was leaving work early, and right as I was walking into the other door, she was walking out, and she was pretty upset that I was. Another context. I have a 529 plan that was set up years ago, and I yesterday converted it over to start the process of converting it to an IRA, and she was pretty upset with me when she saw me.
Okay, but like, if she was a therapist, you wouldn't go to her for therapy.
Yes. Okay, true. That's so true.
And so when I want you to tell her, hey, Mom, if you were going to graduate school to get a graduate degree in therapy, I would tell all my friends to come see you. But I can't have you as my therapist. I need you as my mom. And I'm so proud of you for going to get your financial stuff. That's awesome. But I want you to stay my mom. Of course, I'm going to ask you your opinion on stuff, but I want to preserve this relationship.
Okay. What do I do if she feels offended by that? Because she
you can't control that. You
can't
control that.
Okay. Yes.
And can I be honest with you? You've probably been having to solve for that your whole life, haven't you?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. Mom's going to get mad. Don't do this. Don't say that. Mom's going to get mad. What you learned as a really young kid is that it was your job to take care of the emotional needs of the adults in your life, and that's never a kid's job.
Yeah.
And so if your mom, if you do what's best for you, and your mom decides to go off the handle, scream and yell, not talk to you, not invite you to Christmas, that's heartbreaking, and you have to grieve that. But that's a choice that she, as another adult, made to put conditions on her love for her daughter, which is, you will be one of my clients.
Yep. Okay. You know, it's so funny. My husband actually just told me this last night, too. He's a huge fan of yours.
Smart guy.
All right. Do not tell him that you called us. Tell him, be like, you know what, honey? You're so smart and handsome. You're right. And he's going to be like, oh, yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, here's my take too, Paige. I want someone who's unbiased and unclouded. And the truth is, your mom loves you so much, she can't. her judgment will be clouded by her love for you and what she wants for you and what she didn't get to do and what she would have done if she was your age. I just want an old guy who's like, here's the math. Here's what to invest in. And I go, okay, cool. Or an old woman. This is not sexist. But you know what I mean? I want someone so unbiased and so far removed who's looking at my situation from 30,000 feet, not somebody who was, changing my diapers a decade ago.
Right.
So it's just harder when it's someone that close to you. So it's not out of that you don't love her or you don't trust her.
No, it's because you love her and trust her that you want to keep the roles clear.
Yes, exactly. And I know you guys always say don't mix family and money. Thanksgiving dinner tastes different.
Yes. And imagine she moves you in a bunch of funds, and those funds, because they're on the market and they're part of a roller coaster system, they go down. I don't want that.
Yeah, right?
I don't want you looking at her being like, our portfolio was good last month until mom moved it to, right? It's just going to protect you all long term.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
I feel like I always need to hear it from another source.
From an unbiased third party? Yeah, there we go. That's it. This is so funny.
George, if my mom worked in concrete, I would ask her to come help fix my driveway. My mom was an English professor. When it came to, hey, will you help me edit this? Of course. But that's not it's just, does the comma go here or does the comma go here? There's not all this other drama involved in it. So there's certain jobs, man, absolutely.
My friend was just telling me, so she's selling her house and her dad just became a real estate agent. He sold 0 homes. Guess who's the real estate agent?
Guess who's not going to sell their house?
Dad. Yeah. And so I'm like, this is a nightmare situation. But she's just like, well, I want to help him out. And I'm like, this is scary.
Well, you're choosing, and by the way, you're not helping out as much as you are placating. I would rather him not be sad than we sell our house.
Exactly.
And if he chooses to be sad, great. And here's what's going to happen. He's going to struggle to sell that house. First one. It's just the way it goes. And he's going to start panicking and feeling a little bit shamed. And then he's going to not call back all the time. And then Thanksgiving dinners.
Oh, that was the other thing. She said, he's not great at details and keeping up on stuff and getting back to texts and emails. I'm like, that's who you want selling the house.
Let him have the privilege of just being your dad.
Yes. Amen. That's all we got to say. All right, Allison is up next in Richmond, Virginia. What's your question, Allison?
Yes, so I have a 12-year-old she's 12 and a half, that's been watching and listening to the Ramsey show with us and watching her dad and I do our baby steps. And she's been saving money because she wants to buy a car in several years. So she has a checking account and a savings account. And we actually went to the bank yesterday. We were going to take a chunk of her savings and move it to a money market. But they said that because she's under 18, we can't do that. So we wanted to know, should we open a CD? Or what would you suggest that she's gaining more interest than just the little savings account?
Yeah. Well, she's making like 0.0 something percent. Yeah.
Right.
You could do as the parent or guardian, you could open a high yield savings account.
That's what I would do.
And designate it as a savings account for the child.
Okay.
So it's just kind of a label on there that it's for the kid.
Okay. Okay. Because we asked about this, you can do a money market, put it in your names, and then just turn it over to her when she's 18, but her name couldn't be on it.
Exactly. You could just transfer it over. And if you want a great high-yield savings account, usually your brick-and-mortar banks have terrible high-yield savings accounts, terrible rates. So you might want to look at an online option. And one that I love and use is from our friends at Fairwinds. And you've heard of Fairwinds Credit Union Studio. They have an awesome high-yield savings account. So you could open that in your name, label it for her, and start stacking away money in there. And it's going to make, 10x what you're making in your current bank. And that's what I would do. Perfect. CDs I don't love because the money's locked up and you got to time it perfectly for it to mature, all of that. And the rates in high-yield savings accounts are as good as a lot of the CDs out there. And it keeps it liquid.
Don't lose this. She sounds like an extraordinary 13-year-old. Very mature. Is that fair?
She is.
Okay. One thing, a gift you can give her that's not going to feel like a gift in the moment is to remind her through things like this that you are still the parent.
I like that.
Okay? And because when she goes to buy a car, she is going to save $7,000 to go buy a car. You are going to say you can or cannot buy this car because you're 16.
Right.
Right? And I'm not going to let you buy a cool truck that's been dropped with in the right? Because I'm still your parent. this is a great way to say, hey, I'm proud of you. This is your money. You've earned it. But we're going to put it in this account because it can earn more money for you.
And I like the 401 Dave plan. Maybe you match what she puts into that, and she gets a $14,000 used car 4 years from now. Now we're talking. Buying or selling your home is a big deal. And with all the clickbait headlines and conflicting data out there, it's hard to know what's really happening in the housing market. So let's make the trends easy to understand. The median home prices held steady around $424,000. In October, about 1 in 5 houses saw a price cut, which means buyers might have more room this winter to negotiate and snag a better price. Mortgage rates dipped slightly to about 5.5% in October, giving some buyers breathing room. But since rates are unpredictable, the best time to buy is when you're financially ready, not when rates drop. Do not try to time the market in that way. So if you want to learn more about housing market trends and get some free tools to help you buy or sell with confidence, go to RamseySolutions.com/market or click the link in the show notes if you're listening on podcast or watching on YouTube. Victoria is in Temple, Texas up next. What's going on, Victoria?
Hey, thanks.
What's
so
happening?
So my husband and I have no consumer debt, but we're about to close probably in January on our house, which will be about $260 after the down payment, maybe a little bit less because we're stacking it right now with my income.
Okay.
Right now I work, it's called PRN, it's as needed, so it works because I have 2 young kids. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 10-month-old. So right now, though, we're looking at, well, what if there's a full-time nights position coming up. I work social work in the ER usually. There's a full-time nights position coming up in the spring, so we're looking at, well, what if I took that and we just worked really hard for a season in order to pay it off? Like we could pay our house off in about 3.5 years. And so...
What's stressing you out about this house? Why the aggressive nature?
Well, that's the thing, and that's kind of why I'm, trying to get some advice, is because it's not necessarily stressing us out. We have a lot of peace with where we're at right now, but the idea of looking forward and seeing, a short sprint and then being at the end of it and being totally free, which is huge to us, being able to do, what we need to do, want to do, if we feel called to go somewhere else, do something else, like all that kind of freedom is just really appealing to us. So but I don't want to.
You're talking to 2 guys who are obsessed with not owing people money. So
I feel the exact same pain. It just know that it comes at a cost, and it does. It wears you out around the edges.
In my brain, I'm going, well, right now with a 2.5-year-old and a 10-month-old, this is when they need you the most. And so could we delay this aggressive, take until maybe when they're 3 and 5? Okay, now life is a little easier. You can afford to take a little more sacrifice. That's a personal decision. I'm just looking at the variables as a dad with 2 young ones like you.
Right.
It would be a really hard season for me to sacrifice right now versus when they're a little bit older.
Yeah, I kind of look at it 2 different ways. Like, I think it would be a different sacrifice at that point.
It is.
Because I kind of look at it, I'm like, they're not really going to remember this time. I mean, I'm there when my mom watches them when I'm not home.
Their nervous system will. Their nervous system will.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, you have the right word. Any path you take is a sacrifice, and any path you take comes with trade-offs.
Yeah.
So if we play this out to where you don't make this sacrifice, how long will it take to pay off the mortgage if you just make extra payments with your current income?
And
what's that trajectory?
That would be more like
5 years?
I think when I looked at it, no, it's more like maybe 8.
Okay. And then let's also fast forward. You guys will be making more money 2 years from now, 4 years from now than you are today, correct?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Or is there a world where you want to stay home for a season? Or are you wanting to continue through?
My long-term goal is to be home. I was home for the first about 1.5 years of my son's life and went back to work actually right before I had my second to try to stack up cash for this down payment.
Okay.
And so, I want to eventually be home. And that's part of it, too, is like at that point I could just be home and not have this
Let me ask, I want to ask George a question on your behalf, okay? Mm-hmm. So this mortgage you're taking out is $260?
Yeah, at tops after down payment.
All right, so let's say after down payment, for easy math, let's say $250. Okay, that's what y'all come in at. George, could they take 1 year and just go BA, NA, NAS, get it down to where they owe $125, and then go recast that to where their payment is $125? That basically their existing mortgage, which keeps all the interest the same, everything's the same, except now your monthly payment just plummets, so that you could then stay home and you have a $125,000 mortgage?
I like that plan. What does your husband make?
He's actually starting a new job this week where he'll be making 80. His take home after I calculated the whole thing, it should be about $2,700 a paycheck.
Per paycheck. Okay. And then what are you making right now?
Well, right now I make $1,000 to $3,000 a month because I work, I pick up shifts. If
Just
I
kind of part-time.
took this job, my take home after, retirement and all that would be maybe around 6-ish.
Oh, wow.
So let me throw a thing a variable in here that I always recommend to brand new parents. Okay. Make 6-month plans. Make 3-month plans. Because what happens sometimes is people make 4-year commitments and they have a 10-month-old. And then in 6 months, you absolutely hate every second of your life waking up and being away from this barely 1-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And you feel trapped because, quote unquote, we made a deal. And so what if y'all say, we're going to try this plan out, but we have it already on the calendar. We already have a half-day retreat planned with just the two of us to say, do we still like each other? Are we still like hanging out with each other? Do we still like going to bed at the same time? Does our intimacy life, are we still going the way we want to be? Do we have the life that we want to have right this second? And is the sacrifice still worth it? And that gives both of you permission to say, ugh, I hate what we're doing, to go, cool, pull the plug. You get what I'm saying? That way you don't feel trapped.
Yeah, at first when we started talking about it, we were like, no, we're not doing that. That's crazy. And then as we've talked about it more, we're like, well, what if we try it? And then we definitely have that understanding together of like, well, if we do this, not committing to more than a year, and if we feel good about it at that point, keep going. But if not, then we stop. Or even if something sooner comes up, because that's the great thing about my job now is I have that freedom to work when it works for us and not work when it doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, what you're doing is clinically, technically crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It is. It's abnormal. It's outside of the normal. And it could change everything for the rest of your life. But if y'all set the foundation of your marriage on fire to get to this thing, then when you get there, you cross that finish line, and you got nothing left to give, or you look back and realize we don't like each other. We don't like the parents we've become. We haven't been intimate in 5 years. It will come at a cost. And so it's constantly going back and checking in. The reason I can't tell you don't do this is it's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it, but I wish my wife and I had better conversations on the front end, and we had a lot. And I'm glad that we did it. So it's both and, but just go in very wide-eyed that this is going to come at a cost.
Yeah, well, definitely do. And that's why I'm trying to seek wisdom, is I know, just the night schedule and switching back to days to be with them on my days off. And that just would be a lot.
It will be a lot.
Alone, and then also my kids.
Right. But I am a lot. When I owe somebody money, I just don't sleep as well. And I know because I've tracked it, right? I just don't, it just weighs on me. And so everybody's a little bit different there. But man, I always tell folks, if you can do it in 2 years, then just hit the gas. And you're looking at doubling that to 4 years.
What's the mortgage payment going to be likely?
I think it'll be around 18 or 19, depends on what the interest rate comes to.
Okay. It sounds like your husband could cover that if he was just his income.
Yeah, we designed our life so that if I really wanted to be home, I could be.
Good. Yeah.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Same page, same team. That's
I didn't want you to craft a life where you both have to work full time and you have no options.
No.
So the fact that you did this,
we crafted this to be
good.
Very flexible.
Well, I think you have options then, and I think you'll know pretty quickly if it's working for the family, if it's working for you, if you wanted to try it for a season. That might be what I would do, is just test it out. My wife did this. She came back to work after she had a baby. 4 months later, she was like, I need to be home. But at least we knew. You know that once you've tried it out. So I would encourage you to try it out. And the good news is it's not a sin. If you pay it off in 5 years instead of 3, you're still so far ahead of America. It's mind-blowing. I'm just so proud of you guys for pre-deciding that you don't want to carry this mortgage for 15, 30 years.
Commit to a short-term goal. Hit it, reevaluate.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Today's question of the day is sponsored by YRefi. If you've tried everything to fix your defaulted private student loans and nothing's worked, YRefi can help. They build custom fixed-rate plans based on what you can actually afford. Learn more at yrefi.com/Ramsey. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. Not available in all states.
All right, today's question comes from Nathan in Georgia. Nathan writes, I'm in college and I'm trying to earn a degree that will make me the most money in the quickest amount of time. You don't like that. I don't enjoy the field I'm studying, but my goal is to chase money and then figure out what I want to do after graduation. I really don't like that. Am I wrong to chase money instead of career satisfaction? Yes, 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 and then more yes, and then yes after that.
Wow. Okay, I'm trying to parse this. Earn the degree that will make me the most money in the quickest amount of time. What does that even mean? So the ROI on this degree. So that means like you're going to get into med school and become a doctor, or you're going to work.
Nope, it's the quickest amount of time. And
so it's just whatever I can do in a 4-year degree that will ROI with the highest paying job on the other side.
Correct.
And then I will figure out what I want to do after graduation. So there's no real career on the other side other than whatever pays the most.
Yes.
You can do that.
You can, but it will not work out long term. And so I know I'm in the minority on this, and I know I'm biased because I worked in colleges for years. The degree you get, the skill you learn how to do, the trade you learn, whether you're learning the trade of communication, you're learning the trade of counseling, you're learning the trade of how to work in a business. That is important. And so is, if you have to have a degree with 128 hours in it, that means you're going to have multiple professors over the course of your time. That means you're learning how to operate with 30 or 40 different bosses. What does this boss want in that paper versus what this boss wants? What is this one? You're also learning to work with your classmates. You're also learning to navigate and learn how to do quote unquote life, how to pay your bills, how to be on time. And so to just distill down education into a transaction, I'm morally opposed to that. And I think we've reduced it to high schools are struggling with this. I just need this grade so I can get this test. And what we've done is create a system where the only thing that matters is not what you have learned or know, but what does that end report card say? And we're finding that there is more A's than ever, and we're falling off a cliff in terms of, you don't know how to do math. You don't know how to write, right? You don't know how to think on your own. And so if you reduce this education to quickest this, quickest that, most ROI, you're going to run into a mess. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, don't hear me say that what you get a major in doesn't matter. It absolutely does. And there's a bunch of insane majors out there that are not a good use of your time and money. So be thoughtful about that. The next bigger thing here is, am I wrong to chase money instead of career satisfaction? Yes. The number 3 on our study of millionaires, the number 3 was teachers. If you pursue something you love and that you become good at over time and you are helping people, you have to make real life choices about the math problem that is your life. And what I love about teachers being number 3 is my wife was a teacher. She knew what this job was going to pay. And so she made choices on her undergraduate degree, and she made choices that her first car she bought was a Corolla. And she thought it was going to go for 25 years. I guarantee that car's still driving somewhere. She made peace with the Corolla life. She made peace with, this is what I'm going to do, and so this is what I want to have. And she would have fallen right in line with other teachers that you become a millionaire over time because you make choices about your lifestyle, right? But if you chase money, it will never end. It just won't end well.
It'll never be enough. And if you get to some certain goal, the goalpost will just move, and you'll be calling us saying, "Hey, I make $300,000 doing medical device sales, and I hate it.
Right?
Can I go back to school for the thing I love?" I'm like, "Well, dude, just do that now.
Do that now,
or don't go to school at all. If you just want to go make a bunch of money, go start a landscaping company and go bust your butt and make 6 figures the first year. You can do that too. This is America. You have the choice." But chasing money in and of itself is a terrible goal. Instead, go, what do I love to do? What can I get really good at?
And
the
who
money
am I
will
helping?
Follow. Yes.
That to me is the magic question.
That's a sustainable
that
formula.
never comes up in because my whole job trajectory has been the one thing I'm pretty good at is sitting behind closed doors and hurting people. I did that as a dean of students. I did that as a crisis responder. Now I do that as a YouTuber. And one day this will all go away, and
the job will change again.
That's it. It will change again. But my identity is separate from. It has to be from a job title. The world's too crazy. It's moving too fast. Your job titles are going to change. The job we have right now did not exist when I graduated. And so chasing money or chasing I got to get this degree so I can go as fast as I can. Man, who knows where I would be right now?
Yeah.
I would have fallen off a cliff. But get real good at the thing that you do, right? You are really good at distilling down complex information and helping people. That would be good across a number of fields. It just happens to be this one right now. What is the thing you're really good at and what lights you up? And then go chase that.
And by the way, people don't want to do business with someone who they know is just chasing money. They can smell the inauthenticity 4 miles away. And so you will actually suffer financially if your just plain goal is chase money. Nobody wants to do that when you're desperate for the sale to make another buck.
That's right.
So I hope that helps, Nathan. Hope you're listening out there. Hope all young people listen to this conversation because this could spare you a lot of heartache. All right, Savannah is in Montgomery, Alabama. What's going on, Savannah?
Hey, so I am looking to get some advice on a repossession situation that happened after a divorce, and I'm stuck paying for it.
Oh man. So is your divorce finalized?
Yes, it's been finalized. The vehicle was awarded to him in the divorce. I've tried to communicate with the loan company. They don't care, honestly, because my name is on the loan as well. Mm-hmm. After the divorce, he just didn't pay the truck, and it got repoed back in June or July, I believe. They've since auctioned the vehicle off, and now they've sent me a letter for the remaining balance.
The deficiency amount. How much is that?
$7,000. Or I'm sorry, the whole balance is $12,714.30.
Okay.
Have you called your attorney to circle back?
I have not.
What did the divorce decree say?
This call is no longer being recorded. I'm sorry?
What did the divorce decree say?
So whatever was in his possession at the time of the divorce was awarded to him, which is was the vehicle.
But did it say he was responsible for the car payments or that you were?
Well, it said, so the loan was in both of our names, and it said my debt was to be to me and his debt was to be to him.
Okay.
And I had asked them about this, before, and they just told me, it's got my name on it. I have to deal with it.
No, legally, the lender doesn't care about the decree, but it just, if you could take legal action against them, if you wanted to pursue that, I think the easiest route to go is just try to settle because you are legally responsible for it. And so if you can settle for, instead of 12-7, if you can come up with 5 or 6 and they can call it paid off, I would do that.
So they did send me a letter. That's what I got this week, telling me that they would settle for $7,628.58.
Perfect. Okay, how fast could you save that up if you just worked your tail off and did nothing else but save up to get this car out of your life?
I don't know. On the letter, they're giving me 36 months to pay that off. I don't know if that's going to include interest or what.
It may have some fees on there. You may be able to negotiate those off if you can say, hey, I'm going to pay you this money in a year, but I need you to remove all these extra fees.
Okay. I'm a single mom, and I work 5 full days a week. And then the weekends that I don't have my kids, I work those weekends as well.
Do you have any other debts right now?
I don't. I have my house
Okay, just a house. I would
George,
put all
would this
my
be-
guns toward this.
Would this be a case of going to a credit union and getting a loan and getting this thing knocked out?
If you could do that.
I would, ideally, that would be great. But I mean, when he left me, he destroyed everything.
Yeah,
that
your
I had.
your
I mean,
credit's tanked
my
because of the
credit score
repo.
was like 400 probably.
Yeah.
You might go to a credit union and take the divorce decree and explain it, and they may work with you because you're in a different situation, especially if you bring your work, your current hours that you're working right now. They may give you that loan knowing there's an extenuating circumstance, but maybe not.
Our scripture of the day, Isaiah 48:17. I am the Lord your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. Eddie Vedder said, life moves fast. As much as you can learn from your story, you have to move forward. Chip is in Dallas, Texas up next. What's going on, Chip?
Well, get straight to the point, guys. My father and I are in business together. I've got two other brothers and one sister. They don't participate in the business and never have. My parents are getting a little bit older, and I am worried about if something happens to them, where this leaves me for my business, which I've built. My father's a hands-off partner. And my main concern is I have a good relationship with my siblings, but when stuff happens, stuff happens. So in this case, it's a substantial business, but also we own the real estate. So I'm trying to figure out, is it something that I should try to pursue buying them out? I don't know if I could buy them out using funds from the business. And again, I don't know. But
how much has he invested in for?
So we are, so technically it's my mother's 25%, my father's 25%, I'm 25%, and my wife is 25%.
Okay,
so let's just say my parents are 50.
What are they in for, though?
Money-wise, $3.5 million is total what their share would be worth.
And your concern is that they pass away suddenly, and then your siblings come wanting their piece of that $3.5 million.
Yes, I've talked to my father about it. He says that we have, I guess, laid it out equally, but my problem is that I don't know about the other assets. If it's going to come into the point, let's just say that if I want to take this business, am I going to have to buy out my siblings? And
no, but is your dad saying, no, I've got 3.5 for one sibling and 3.5 for the other? Is that what he was saying?
Oh, no. What he has, like I'd say, to buy him out of this business is 3.5 million, like what I'd have to pay to get him and my mom out. That's what I would value it at. Of course, we haven't had a valuation the past 2 years, but
what is it the business worth?
So the business itself is probably worth about $1.5 million. The real estate was worth $2 million. It's probably worth more like $3 million, maybe $3.5 million now. So it could be more than $3.5 million total.
And what is it cash flow?
Cash flow. So the only people that take, of these partners that take salaries is my wife and I. And we each take about $100,000, and then we do disbursements at the end of the year. But so cash flow after paying our salaries is about $500,000.
Okay, and you're saying that $3.5 million, they would agree that's fair amongst all parties as far as a buy.
I'm not saying that. I think that if I approach them, possibly.
I think if you're making a net after expenses of $500,000 a year, your valuation's pretty high.
Yes, I think what it is it's a reoccurring income, and I don't want to get into too much details, but it is a kind of like a subscription based, if you will. So it's kind of like you have people locked in, and then you have long-term customers. But let's just say, yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, you're talking about 7x your net cash flow, right?
Oh, the 3.5 is including real estate.
Okay.
So
got it.
Yeah,
So let's just
so-
pretend
so
it's
the-
3.5. Let's just walk this through an example, and I'll tell you what I would do, what Dave Ramsey would do. We're not doing debt, and you obviously don't have the money up front to pay for this, correct?
No, and I again, not to say that he would want it all up front, but
Sure.
I just
But
don't
would
want to
they
put
be
ourselves
willing
into-
to go, all right, we'll do $350K for 10 years is what you're going to pay us from this business?
I think so. I don't know. They are getting older, so I'm not trying to be morbid, but I would say that 10 years may be a stretch, truthfully, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Well, I think you just start playing with the numbers here and go, okay, here's what we could comfortably do based on the actual revenue of the business to go, all right, we can do $400,000 over 7 years.
I would prefer it to be a percentage of your profit.
I agree.
And my hope would be that y'all do that, and every year y'all can reconcile. And so maybe you get down to where, let's say they last 6 years.
And then at the end, I just would have to pay the difference to siblings.
You would
if-
pay it
if
to a
there is
trust
any
that would be
difference.
dispersed to the
Yeah.
siblings. That's right. At the agreed upon rate.
And I would involve a lot of professionals at this point. I would not do handshake agreements. I would have a business valuation expert, a CPA, an estate attorney, get all of this in writing so that everyone's on the same page, siblings included.
And that's my thing. I've been trying to work on this for the past 3 or 4 years, and again, my father's like, "Don't worry about it." And he's a fair man. I'm not thinking anything's going to happen like shady like that. But again, I'm just worried about the sibling.
It's the relational
fights and
drama
stuff like that.
outside of this circle.
Have you talked to your siblings to tell them that you're working on it?
One brother, oldest brother, doesn't have any care. He's like, "I don't care about it." He's like, "I'll sign over whatever." So anything that if I did have to pay him, he wouldn't want a payment. He's done pretty well in life. I guess this isn't needed for him.
I would make sure you get that in writing. 'Cause
I
7
would,
years
I
from
would,
now,
I would.
if
His
he's
wife may
destitute-
really want that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I agree. That's what I don't see that being a problem. The other two, again, they're very nice people, but when stuff happens and they might say, "Oh, well, this is worth 3.5 or whatever," and our portion's worth this. And that's what I'm worried about. They have shown no interest in the business. They don't support. They never supported the idea or supported real estate in general.
Sure. A perfect world is you sit down with your dad and say, "I'd like to make you a $3.5 million offer." Again, after a real evaluation, maybe 2 that you take the average of, a real evaluation that you offer that to him. And he says, "No chance. I'll sell this to you for $1 million."
Yeah, well, I love that.
Or for whatever. And he may say, "Great, cool," but he may say, "I'm not taking that much money. We're going to sign an agreement here, and then it's going to be based off net profit over the next 10 years." That way, there's no debt. If the business goes in the hole, then you don't owe any money that year.
Yeah.
But if you sign a note to a $400,000 a year, then you're locked into a payment.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't like payments. The only thing that we owe is a small mortgage on our home. So again, we've been following Dave, and that's my main concern, because I know that I could approach an SBA loan for something like this. I just don't want to.
Yeah,
No, don't do that. Don't do
when
that.
you introduce risk, it's going to add pressure and stress to everything. And so that's the one thing I don't do is do not touch debt to go into this plan. And I like the idea of a percentage of profits over time. And so I hope that you guys can come to an agreement on what's fair and equitable for all parties, and you avoid the drama of the siblings being involved. Make it very clear what they would get when mom and dad pass. Here's how this is going to go down.
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm going to be. If you have 4 siblings, and one of those siblings had a really tight relationship with mom and dad, so much so that they invested a ton of money together, they were silent partners in a business together, I promise you there is already a little bit of golden child syndrome. Oh, yeah, sure. Chip always gets fill in the blank. And so make no mistake, you are clearly a man of character trying to set this thing up so that you preserve your relationships over time. I would expect mathematically that at least one of your siblings, if not 2, bundle up and try to start a fight after your parents pass. It wasn't fair. They didn't talk to us. He got more than whatever the thing will be. I hope that's not the case. But when you're talking millions, it almost always is.
Yeah.
And so just be ready for that.
I've rarely seen one of these just go perfectly smooth and everyone's happy and nobody's upset and everyone thought it was fair.
That's right. Yeah.
And so the best thing you can do is get ahead of it. Talk about it so much they're sick of you talking about it.
Yep.
To where it's like, hey, I'm going to send you that email once a year about here's the agreement, here's the estate plan. And even Dave Ramsey does this with his own family.
Every year they sit
have
down and say,
come
here's
to
the plan.
Jesus,
That's right.
if Dave dies meeting, here's what's going to happen with the estate. And so there's no questions.
That's right.
There will not be any arguments to be had because there's nothing to argue about.
Yeah, just it's easy to say, I don't care about that. I don't need that money. And then you find out, wait, I was going to get $1 million? Yeah, now that conversation changes.
Whew. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. Remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.